So as we all know, the full roster for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has already been revealed, and we only got 2 weeks till release. Like, can you believe that? We got 2 weeks until the release of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Man, I can't wait. This is my most anticipated game. But I've probably said that like a million times in my videos already that I've covered Sparking Zero in. But yeah, with the full roster revealed, we pretty much got at least most of the characters veterans from Tenkaichi 3, which I honestly wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting like any of the movie characters, or to be honest, I wasn't expecting GT to come back in the base game. I was expecting those to be like, you know, separate DLC packs, to be honest. They really surprised me with this one, with like all the movie characters that's coming back, most of them at least, most of the GT characters at least, but there are still some characters missing in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero that was in Tenkaichi 3. So in reality, everyone isn't here, sadly. So let's cover these characters. Let's cover why some of these characters were cut and didn't make it into Sparking Zero. So the first one we're going to start with is the obvious that everyone's been saying, including me. Super 17. So, Super 17 is a villain that was in Dragon Ball GT, which was also, he was featured in Tenkaichi. I'm pretty sure all of the Tenkaichis actually, like he was in Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3. He was a pretty reoccurring character in the series, and yeah, I was kind of surprised not to see him in Sparking Zero with the GT characters. Like, we got Baby, Omega Shenron, Super Saiyan 4s, all of them. But no Super 17? He was like one of the more important characters in Dragon Ball GT, so it was kind of surprising to just see Super 17 is completely absent from Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, because honestly, especially in Tenkaichi 3, I loved playing Andre 17, or I'm sorry, Super 17, because his moveset was just amazing. Like, just the way you pull off combos with him was just really satisfying to do, and he had really cool supers. My favorite one being the one where, you know, he like shoots the bullets and they do like tons of damage for some reason. Like the freaking hell, I think it was like Hellstorm or something. It does like so much damage on your opponent. That was like one of my favorite moves to use with Super 17. And yeah, he was one of my mains in Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. And it's kind of a shame that he's not returning. But hey, there's only so much they could put. Like I said, I wasn't even expecting GT to return in general in the base game. Another GT character that's missing is both Nova and Ice Shenron. This was also a confusing choice for them to remove because, you know, those were also pretty important characters in Dragon Ball GT. Ice Shenron was never actually playable in a Dragon Ball game. It was always just Nova Shenron. I think the only game Ice Shenron was playable in was what, like both of the Xenoverse games? It was mostly just Nova Shenron that would get into the Tenkaichi games. And then in Sparking Zero, he's not there. Like, the only villains we have in Sparking Zero is just Sin Shenron, Omega Shenron, and Baby, if I recall correctly. Those are the only ones we have. Which, I don't know. It's just like the villains are the coolest part of GT. I don't know why we don't have like a lot of them. We could have like more of the Shenrons, but then again, they already have a lot of characters. We have like, what, a 182 roster, including Goku Daima from Dragon Ball Daima. So, yeah. But I'm just assuming maybe someday we will get these characters as DLC. Probably not in a pack, because these are just like, what, 2 characters from GT that are missing that are not in Sparking Zero. But, I don't know. We'll see. And then my biggest disappointment was Sparking Zero's roster. Don't get me wrong, this is just a nitpick. I think Sparking Zero's roster is completely amazing. I'm satisfied with it. But another thing is how there's an absence of OG Dragon Ball characters. I could have sworn they would have at least added, you know, Tao Pai Pai or something, since he was in every Tenkaichi game, actually. He was probably in Tenkaichi 1, I don't recall, but I think he was in Tenkaichi 1. But yeah, they don't have Tao Pai Pai or Demon King Piccolo, none of them. The only OG Dragon Ball character that is in there is Kid Goku. No Chi-Chi, no Grandpa Gohan, no General Blue, no Tao Pai Pai. Like I said, none of them. I wasn't expecting like, you know, Ada or anything to come back, or Rayleigh or whatever. But yeah, it's just like, if you have Kid Goku, or Goku Teen, the game refers it to, I think you might as well just like put the rest of the OG characters in. But then again, I think those are also going to be a GT. Sorry, did I say GT? I think there will also be a DLC pack for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We're gonna get OG Dragon Ball pack for DLC and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. That would be pretty cool. I definitely get that because we need more OG Dragon Ball rep in these Dragon Ball games because they always either do Z, Super, sometimes GT, and like it's always if they're going to represent Dragon Ball, they always do like Kid Goku at the minimum. That's what they always do. I appreciate them at least just putting Kid Goku in there at least. Like, I'm fine with that. Some people don't like how he looks in the game because you know the whole he has a Shintani design. You know, like the 5 seconds of Kid Goku we saw in Dragon Ball Super Broly. But honestly, I don't mind it. You can change the costume anyway to make him look like OG Dragon Ball Goku, so it's not that much of a big deal in my opinion. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that we only have one OG Dragon Ball character since like that's what started it all. There should be more representation other than just Kid Goku in these games to be honest, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Like I said, we're getting that as a DLC. I'm calling it right now. We're getting that as DLC. And now for these next characters that they aren't even like really required, but it's kind of questionable why they're not included, especially since other characters that are related to them are included into Sparking Zero. So, I don't know how to pronounce this character's name, but she's from the BoJack movie.
Zangia.
That was pretty much just like BoJack's partner in that he killed in Dragon Ball Z BoJack movie, which I'm surprised she didn't make the cut in Sparking Zero because, you know, BoJack's in Sparking Zero, so you know, why not put her in the game too? Since I'm pretty sure she was in every Tenkaichi game as well. Like she was a veteran in every single Tenkaichi game, all three of them. But I guess they either forgot or they just, you know, they're like, she's not important. Like I mean, she appeared in one movie, got killed by BoJack, and then that was it. Which okay, I don't blame them. But it was just kind of questionable how she's not included into Sparking Zero. And another one is Pikkon. So Pikkon is a filler character. He only appears in movies and filler episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, he was pretty much like Goku's training partner when Goku was in the afterlife. And I know a lot of Pikkon fans. He's a fan favorite character. So I was a bit confused why they didn't put him into Sparking Zero. Especially since, you know, Janemba's in there. And Pikkon was in the Janemba movie, so yeah, like he's also a reoccurring character in Dragon Ball games. So it was kind of disappointing to not see Pikkon there. But honestly, my theory for Sparking Zero right now, I think what they're doing, I think they're trying to only go canon only with the roster so far in terms of, you know, just, you know, Z, Super, GT, and movies excluded because, you know, those were fan favorite filler non-canon content, while, you know, Pikkon and characters like another character, Fasha, that didn't make it into the game, which is she's from the Bardock special. At this point, I don't think the Bardock special is canon anymore since Dragon Ball Super kind of retconned it.
Not that!
But yeah, characters like Fasha, Pikkon, they're not in because those are not really important canon characters, I guess. It's kind of just like filler characters that are in just Tenkaichi, and you know, not many people would care if they're not in the game, so I think that's why they didn't put them in. Honestly, I don't see these characters being DLC, because think of it as a business perspective. Who are going to pay for these characters, though? Like, who's going to pay for Pikkon, Fasha, or, like, Zanga? Who's going to pay for those characters? Freaking... Another character I realized that's missing from the Cooler movie is Salza, which that's one of Cooler's henchmen. I'm surprised he is not in Sparking Zero, since he's always been in every Tenkaichi game along with Cooler. But yeah, I kind of forgot that dude existed, so I mean, I guess that answers my question. Yeah, he's a forgettable character. He's just Cooler's soldier. That was only in one movie, and he used like a hand sword or whatever. That guy was pretty much just Zarbon 2.0. He wasn't even that cool, to be honest. And it's not that much of a huge loss that he's not in Sparking Zero, but I thought they would at least put him in if Cooler's in there, but, you know, it's fine. Same goes for characters like King Vegeta, which I was like 90% sure that King Vegeta was actually going to make it into Sparking Zero for one reason. There was a trailer for Sparking Zero with what's his name? It was like Deborah and some dude from the Tournament of Power and Dragon Ball Super. So when Deborah was like fighting that guy and he was like getting bodied and stuff in the trailer, you can hear like Deborah.
But I am the king!
He sounds weird in that clip, and it's like, wait, okay, that kind of sounds like Chris Sabat's King Vegeta. That doesn't sound like Deborah. I thought they like accidentally used like a voice clip of like King Vegeta or something by accident, and I was like, okay, King Vegeta's gonna be in the game since you know King Cold's gonna be in the game, so why not put King Vegeta? But no, he is not in, which that surprised me. They have no King Vegeta in the game despite accidentally using a voice clip, or maybe that was just a Deborah voice clip. He probably just sounds weird in that. He probably just sounds like King Vegeta in that clip or something, I guess. Yeah, it's not too much of a loss because you know King Vegeta he only showed up in flashbacks. He wasn't really anything special. He got killed by Frieza, blah blah blah, whatever. But it's just nice to just see like all these like random characters put into the game. And I think that's what makes Tenkaichi special. You get all these random characters like, oh, wait, he's in the game? Like, that'll be your reaction. And I think that's what just makes the game special. Which Sparking Zero is still doing with Dragon Ball Super, of course. And, yeah, there's still returning characters that we didn't expect, like, you know, Spopovich and all that. And all those movie characters like Garlic Jr. Yeah, it's still good, And then, another one I was sure that was going to be in the game as well, since he was shown in a screenshot, was Supreme Kai. In one of the screenshots in the tournament mode, you can see Supreme Kai's model. I was like, okay, Supreme Kai is there, so that means he's going to be playable, since, you know, he's been playable in every single Tenkaichi game. But no, he's not even in the roster. He's not a playable character. He's just an NPC there. Which, I mean, that's canon. What did Supreme Kai do in Dragon Ball Z? He's such a useless character, so I don't think anyone like really cares that Supreme Kai didn't return. But yeah, it's just surprising that he didn't make it, since he's always been in pretty much every Dragon Ball game since Budokai 2. But yeah, you know, it's whatever. It's not like I'm actually gonna be playing Supreme Kai and Kabito Kai or anything like that. But then like there's the other characters that I'm confused that didn't make it in as well, since we already got Great Saiyan Man 1. Why not put Great Saiyan Man 2 for, you know, like, you know, Videl Great Saiyan Man, since, you know, she was also in Tenkaichi 3s. So I think they should have put Great Saiyan Man 2 at least. Maybe it's an alternate costume for Videl, who knows, but if she's not in the game, oh well. Alright, so I think that's all the characters that were missing in Sparking Zero that was in Tenkaichi 3, all the characters that were cut. I wasn't expecting like all the characters to return anyway. It's just like some questionable decisions they made. Obviously, it's a game in 2024. We have like all these new graphics. It's harder to make games nowadays. It's honestly a blessing that we got 182 characters in the first place, to be honest. So don't take this video as me complaining why these characters aren't in the game. These are just like little nitpicks. I'm more than satisfied with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's roster, and I can't wait for the release, bro. We got 2 more weeks, man. Like we gotta hang in there. We gotta hang in there. Of course, I'm gonna be streaming Dragon Ball Sparking Zero on this channel when it drops, and yeah, I can't wait. That's pretty much it. You leave a like and subscribe, and come back to this channel when Dragon Ball Sparking Zero comes out, because I'm gonna be making tons of content on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This game's finna be hype, bro. I can't express how excited I am right now. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys have a good one, and see you guys later. Goodbye.